Okay, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome to another Wednesday night, Fundamentals to Gain Inner Peace with your host, Coach Menachem Bernfeld. Breath by breath, easing back into everyday life. It's been a while. It's been 2 weeks, but it wasn't a regular 2 weeks. And part of getting back is to take a moment and looking back, seeing where we are. From Yom Kippur, getting ready for Sukkot, and all the ups and downs, cooking, preparations, 3-day Yom Tov, twice, just taking a moment to see, where am I? Where am I? And when anytime things are out of routine, it brings up different things, different ideas. Now, everybody's different, and it's always important to see where you are. We could be talking over here, different ideas, but to take a few minutes to see, where am I in all of this? How do I feel? What did my Yom Tov look like? What were my ups and downs? When there's a lot of noise, it's hard to see what's really going on. When you find some space, some time to quiet down, you can go inside, spend a minute or two with yourself and see, where am I? But out of routine, some people, they love it. Other people want to get back. And it's always good to see, some people, Yom Tov is very nice. At work is stressful, so Yom Tov is great. And yes, after a while, they're ready to go back to work, but they enjoy Yom Tov. Other people, work is that place where they can hide a little bit, in their regular routine. That's where they can comfort themselves, distract. But when they have to be home and they have to spend time with family and Yom Tov and all that, could be a challenge. So these are things that, when we stop, when you take some time off, when you relax, and if you're not reading a book, you're just spending some time with yourself, then these things come up. So let's create a safe space. Here we are, a few minutes, where we can become aware, we can be honest. And this is a safe space, just to see what's going on. So let's take a moment. Let's get grounded. Take a deep breath in. And if you have a cup of tea, just to relax. And just to see how you feel. Different feelings come up when you stop in your body. You can feel it tingling, heaviness, overwhelmed, or maybe relaxed, calm, content. Whatever comes up, there's no right or wrong. So let's take a moment, take a deep breath in. And let it all out. Beautiful. Another deep breath in. You might feel like you're falling asleep. You're running and being busy all day, and now someone gives you permission to stop and relax, not just fall asleep. And that's okay. Another deep breath in, all the way in, and let it all out. And just turn inwards to see what your body feels. Connecting to our body for a minute. There's no right or wrong. Whatever you feel, you feel. And now you can ask yourself, where am I? What did 2 weeks look like? Am I ready to get back to routine? Or maybe not. There are no two people the same. So that's why it's important. And if you're comfortable, you can share in the chat. You can share any ideas that come up, whether it's seemingly positive or negative, whatever it is. It's okay. If that's where you are, then that's where you are. Some people got inspired, and that's amazing. Now they're a little bit worried. How am I going to keep it up? Every year I get inspired, and then everything goes back to normal. Or other people thinking, wait a second, I didn't get inspired. It's just becoming aware, and that's okay. If you didn't, you didn't. Personally, I had moments. Sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. And I'm learning to recognize those moments. The truth is, talking about Kippur, Sukkot, Shana Rabbah, Simchas Torah, they are like heavy, heavy emotions, a lot going on. So, doesn't mean that this is how you work, this is how you always work. It's just important to be aware when you feel a certain way, and that's when we need to get back to our breath. You feel overwhelmed, take a deep breath, you come back to your breath, and you're aware why you're overwhelmed or you're not, but back. It's okay. And now getting back to routine. Some people, okay, it's all over, I'm done. I don't want to think about it. Get back to my regular routine. Other people want to take the ideas, inspiration. How do I figure this out? How do I take it into the next few months? At least till Hanukkah. At least till Hanukkah. Into the winter. Thank you for sharing. So some people had an amazing Yom Tov. Some people it was hard. Some people had both. And I think having both, I think is pretty much the majority because of all the ups and downs. There's a lot going on, a lot of change, preparation. And some of you need a break. I think some need some vacation now after Yom Tov, a few days before you get back to routine. With all the cooking, with all the preparations, with all that, davening and being in shul. And it's also something to celebrate. You were able to do whatever you were able to do. And now, pat yourself in the back. You deserve something, something. Maybe taking off for half a day, some quiet time, go for a walk, some self-care. We all deserve it. And some of you, before you go into an overwhelmed situation, you tell yourself, you sit down with yourself, you tell yourself, okay, we're going to do this, but at the end, when we come out, I'll take you out, take yourself out. You do something for yourself, something that works. You can lay in bed, half hour, listen to music. It's just like the ideas of self-care come up. So if you told yourself you'll do that, now's the time. Now's the time to get rewarded. Doesn't have to be expensive, doesn't have to be big. We all deserve, we did a great job. Even if you think you're not sure, yes, a session to unwind. That's right. And especially after Yom Tov to unwind. And we're learning how to unwind every day a few minutes. Every day a few minutes. But we could see it. After those 2 weeks, you can see how the human being needs to unwind. My belief is that we all need it every day. We have a lot going on, whether it's at home or at work, spend a few minutes to unwind. The question is, what do you do to unwind? And that's something we have to create, something small and easy, because if it's hard and expensive, not gonna happen. Something small to unwind. For me, certain ideas that I wanted and I still want to implement, after Yom Tov, inspiration. Not to open my phone at least till 10 o'clock. That would be amazing. Eretz Hashem. Start my day with a few minutes of meditation, with some quiet, with nothing going on. Truth is, with davening, some people feel when they daven, it's some meditation for them. But personally, davening for me is not a meditation yet. Maybe one day. But I need time before I do anything, just some time to be with myself. I can maybe visualize what do I want my day to look like. So these are two things that came up for me. So think what's something for you, something that works for you, something small, and you can share in the chat, something that you would like to take, to continue the inspiration. Yoga, very good. Again, if you can do it at home, a few minutes, that's great. If you have to take a class, so it could be a challenge, but beautiful if you can do that. Play some music. Yeah, it's important to take something small so that we can do it. Journaling, taking a walk, and just thinking back about Sukkot. We didn't see any rain on Sukkot, and something to like, wow. Just when I think about it, Baruch Hashem, I had a beautiful Sukkot again with all my ups and downs. But just to think, with a shlach, without a shlach, rain in and out. It was beautiful. First 2 days was cold here in Lakewood, but then I enjoyed it afterwards because it wasn't that cold. So that's the positive. And did you go outside the past few days? Did you see what's going on over there? The colors? Did you take a smell deep, deep? Take it in. Now's the time, fresh air. And you feel those leaves crunching. It's like, wow, what's going on? If you can take time, just walk slowly and just be aware of your five senses, those feelings, the smells, and that could help to unwind. Okay, so yeah, it's important. Just be aware of what works for you. What's something that works for you? And when we do create the safe space to see how we feel and let things come up, like I always mention, it always needs to be with compassion. If you allow things to come up, obviously there are going to be things that might be a challenge, the ups and the downs. So we always have to make sure there's some compassion. When we sit down with a cup of tea, you sit down for a few minutes with yourself, you start journaling, and you allow for whatever comes to come up. Always need to bring along some compassion to understand yourself, just like you would understand a good friend. Imagine your friend after Yom Tov says, I just want to vent for a minute or two. Are you ready? You say, go ahead. And that's important. Let your friend know you want to vent, because if not, they're going to come up with ideas. It's okay. I don't need any ideas now. It's just, let me talk about my Yom Tov. Sometimes you can discuss it with your spouse, but sometimes you can't. Find a friend. And sometimes you can do it with yourself. Take a pen and paper, start journaling for a few minutes, see what did it look like? How do you feel? Let this bean spill. Let it all come out. Okay, struggling to find something that leaves me feeling filled or restored, or maybe I'm not able to feel it. Yeah, don't wait till you feel all those feelings that you want to feel. It's okay. That's where the compassion comes in. You might not feel it. You might want to have a certain picture you want to feel, and you're not feeling it. And you feel guilty, you feel it's not working, you're not doing it right. Take a deep breath and listen to that. That's part of what's going on in your minds. You sit down and you become aware of your mind saying, it's not working. Don't do this. Try something else. No, I don't feel it. So we have to learn how to listen to those voices. Say, it's okay. I'm listening to some music now. I might not feel exactly what I want to feel, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm taking a walk. You know, whatever you decided to do, don't stop right away. Our mind is not going to let. I feel there's a threshold that we have to. It might be 2, 3 minutes, and if you don't allow yourself to get through those 3 minutes, you're always going to feel like something else that's not working. Maybe this, I'll try that. Maybe tomorrow in the morning, maybe at night. It's like, oh man, that's the chatter in the mind. So you learn how to sit down. You decided that you're going to sit and listen to some music. Okay, beautiful. You stay there for a few minutes, and you might feel you want to jump up and do something else. Stay there. It's okay. And then slowly your body could start relaxing, taking it easy. And it's okay, feeling safe in that space. Okay, so getting back into routine. So some ideas how to get back. So to start gradually is okay. Again, if you have a job, 9 to 5, you have to go back to work, so you have to go back to work. But even at work, sometimes you can be overwhelmed, so emails, things to do. Take a deep breath, one thing at a time. You can tell yourself it's okay. Another idea is to come up with something that helps you feel grounded. You might feel overwhelmed. What's something that helps you feel grounded? Maybe a deep breath. It could be journaling, stretching, something that helps you come back into the moment, something that we're doing now, but it doesn't have to be for a half hour, just for a moment to be in this space, into, in the here and the now with yourself. 60 seconds meditation. Try that. Just sit for 60 seconds. You can focus on your breath. Nothing has to change. So you come up with something. For those who to-do lists work, that could help. So it's important what works for you. What's something that has worked in the past, something that you can do that will help you continue, that will help you get back into it if that's what you need. And the most important part is if you feel lost, you feel like it's not working, feel like you can't figure this out, this interesting mood you're in, that's okay. So being aware of that is important because everybody transition. Some people it's easier, some people it's harder, but you're always going to feel something for those who allow themselves to feel. Taking a deep breath. So that's basically the idea. What did I miss? Again, it could be I missed many things, but you have to know what works for you. You can share in the chat if you have any question or if anything came up. Somebody shared that they feel self-care is selfish a little bit sometimes. So first, we create space for that. Just be aware of that feeling that comes up. And when we talk about self-care, you feel like, why should I take care of myself? I should be taking care of the world. Why myself? I'm not here to take care of myself. I'm here to take care of the world. But just be aware of those thoughts or whatever comes up. And now, after with compassion to understand it's okay to feel those feelings. And I've been there, and many of us before we started on this journey, we feel like if we take some time off for ourselves, why? It's not right. So just be aware of those thoughts. Many times it could be out of fear of connecting to yourself. And if you don't spend time with yourself, it could be easier. Self-care many times brings up some emotions about the self because you're taking care of yourself. You're connecting to yourself. Self-care is something that works for you. So you're becoming aware of who you are, what works for you, what you would want. Maybe you can't do it. So that could be one of the reasons why it's so hard. Thank you for sharing and for being vulnerable. I don't think I deserve it. So take a deep breath and just be aware of that. Journaling would help. Just write down those thoughts. I don't deserve to be taken care of. Why not? See what comes up. And that's when we open that can of worms. It's very hard. You might not want to do it by yourself. But this is what happens. Okay? What happens? You connecting to yourself. Our goal is to be able to come back to ourselves with compassion, with self-acceptance, eventually self-love, but that may take time, so that you can spend some time with yourself. You can put up those boundaries so people don't take advantage. You know what works for you, what doesn't. And then the difference is at the end of the day, before you go to sleep, you'll be a little bit more relaxed because what you did that day was something that you chose to do, something that you wanted to do, and you feel good. Versus if I can't take care of myself, I can't be in touch with myself, I don't deserve to, and I have to take care of the world and everybody else. But deep down, you would love to take some time off. And at the end of the day, you're overwhelmed, taken advantage of. You have to do so many things you didn't want to do it. And it's yeah. So, write this down. Self-care, self-acceptance, self-love. You can write in the bottom corner in small letters. One day we'll get there. But this is what we're looking for. This is a healthy being. And it's only after you can be there for yourself, you can give others, whether it's your spouse, your kids. Because if you're not there for yourself and you feel it's something you have to do all day, you're doing something you have to, I have to, then at the end, it doesn't last too long. Resentment. Some resentment can come up. Okay, so that's for you. Thank you for sharing. And now back to all of us. Yeah, just taking some time, being aware of what works for me, what did I feel, create that safe space, see what comes up. If you had some inspiration, what's something small that you can take it for another few weeks, something that you can do different. And I think it's a great time before we go back into routine. Sometimes we're so into our routine, so used to it that it's hard to make a small difference. Like to stop a minute every hour. Like I was saying, don't open my phone till 10 o'clock in the morning. But now when things are changing, we are in transition. So now is the time that we might want to put in some small things. Now is the time to, you know, do things different and then see the change, which is amazing. Okay. So that's it for tonight. Recordings are available on menachembernfeld.com. Questions you can always send now in the chat for another minute or two. And while you're on the journey during the week, hopefully you do spend some time with yourself. Any questions come up, send them to coachmenachem@gmail.com. Hopefully we'll get to answer them. I want to thank you all for the feedback after Yom Tov. For those who are on the journey and implementing small ideas and seeing the change. That's amazing. Seeing how it makes a difference. I get feedback many times, whether it's email, people share, and I see it for myself. I can tell the difference when I'm on my phone, or I can put it away. Sometimes I'm on my phone and like feel it in my body. It's like, wait a second. Take a few minutes, put it on the side. And even in the car, sometimes when I'm driving, I have that urge of pulling it out, and I gotta put my phone in the back seat, in the trunk. It's just that urge, things that we're used to, we want to do, becoming aware of that. So that's important. See what you can implement in your day while we're transitioning and getting back into a routine. What if other people don't want to make the changes? Amazing question. So some of their ideas might come up that you have other people involved. I would tell you don't go there yet. First, find something that you can do because when it comes to other people, it's a challenge. And you can, try for years. It doesn't always work. And this is something we're learning over here also. We can't really change other people. The only person I can change is myself. I could sit together with you and discuss ideas. But at the end of the day, no more pointing fingers. If I want to do something, I got to do it. But they don't let my circumstance and this and that. I hear, listen, if you can't, then you can't. But again, something that you can do. We start taking control of our own life. So I would recommend find something that you can do, nothing to do with other people. Yeah, that's for now. Let me see, just a second. What if a spouse needs all the time for their own self-care? Oh, yo, yo. That doesn't sound like self-care. What if a spouse needs all the time for their own self-care? Okay, so this is a good question. Somebody else asked, what's the difference self-care and self-indulgence? Self-care is not the whole day. Self-care is 2 minutes. 2 minutes for yourself. If you're doing self-care all whole day, we might have to talk. There's something going on that you're avoiding. You can't maybe you're having a hard time with what's going on. So you're claiming that I'm busy now with self-care. But self-care is noticing what you need, taking care of yourself. And again, it could mean sometimes going out shopping, doing something that you need to do. It might take some time, but if you're constantly doing self-care and the whole day, then that's not self-care. That's not self-care. And again, bringing in some compassion, there's probably something going on which is not easy. My kids need me more than I need myself. So I don't feel good taking the time away from them. Your kids want you to take 2 minutes off to take care of yourself. Your kids need it. Your kids want a mother that's refreshed, that's taking care of herself, a mother that feels rejuvenated. They need that. Do it for them. And there's a famous story, I'm not sure from where, the mother went into her room and the kids are waiting and they knocked on the door and I don't know, she was sitting there with apple, maybe. I'm not sure. Um, I'm not sure the story was she was slicing the apples, gave all the kids a piece. She was taking care of herself. I'm not sure what the story is. You can share it if you know it, but the idea is an egg or an apple, whatever it was. I think she said, mama, I'm making a mother. They all need a mother, but where's the mother? Many of us are not there for our kids because we're so busy taking care of our kids, taking care of work, taking care of the whole world, and volunteering for Big Cholim all day, and busy, busy, busy. Where's the mother? So again, it's a concept that takes time. Many people shared the first time they heard the word self-care, they didn't know how to eat it. What does it mean? And eventually they come and tell me, wow, it's profound because it helps you become in touch with yourself because it's self-care. know yourself, know where you are, how you feel, and those feelings come up, and not always easy. But eventually, you can learn how to take care of yourself. Give yourself even those 2 minutes, so that the rest of the day you can be calm and collected. And then at the end of the day, you know what you need. And the same thing the next day. And then the people around you have you because you know who you are, you know what you need. So thank you very much. Thank yourself for taking some time off after this Yom Tov to just observe, see what's going on where you are. Do it more often. Don't wait for next week, Wednesday nights. And Amidst Hashem, we will see you together next week again, Wednesday night. Have a good night and a beautiful week.